What's up, everyone? A sort of different video from this channel that I didn't expect to be doing. But I'll just say this, I've used GoPros on this channel since really 2015, and I stopped using them in 2024 when I got my Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. For me personally, I found that GoPros overheat too much. I found that the quality in low light was pretty bad for some years, and I just eventually stopped using it, even despite the high resolution and high frame rate video combination. When I first got GoPros in 2015, I got the GoPro Hero 4 Black. It was a revolutionary camera at the time, taking 4K at 30 frames per second and 1080p at 120 FPS, which for me back then, I used at 120 Hz. I didn't slow the video down. I watched it on a 120 Hz panel, and it looked absolutely amazing. GoPros were revolutionary in 2015. If you thought about action cameras, you thought about GoPros. It was kind of synonymous, kind of. And where GoPro fell off for me, because I got a GoPro Hero 10, lost it, and then replaced it with a GoPro Hero 11, was the overheating, the low light performance, and eventually, sooner or later, the battery life. And I just stopped using GoPros in 2024, because I just didn't really see a need for it when I got my Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, and it's 8K capable camera. Let me show you what GoPro has up under their sleeve for their new Mission 1 lineup. As you see, professional 8K and 4K open gate, compact cinema camera. GoPro has never done a compact cinema camera. Their aim was action camera, but with sort of cinema settings, but it didn't pan out well. Some of it just honestly to me didn't pan out well. It came out very amateurish when you're considering for cinematography. It came out amateurish. Once I went professional on a smartphone, I just didn't go back. The camera was better, it took more detail than the terrible low-light performance of the GoPro Hero 11, 10, 9, 8, because I have a GoPro Hero 8 as well, and I got a lot of dislikes for the low-light tests from that camera, and it was pretty embarrassing because it wasn't my fault. It was the camera, and it was the specs on it. When you raised the ISO even a little bit on it, the noise cancellation made the whole image look terrible. Very amateur, very unusable footage, because they said that, GoPros aren't good in low light, but also too, they should have a noise reduction feature on there that they didn't have. Let me correct the noise on there. Let me reduce the noise. Let me do it, And GoPro didn't allow that, so I eventually just stopped using GoPro. But what grabbed my eye to get to this point, thankfully, I had no idea that GoPro was going to do this. I think this surprised everyone. I think we can all agree. This surprised everyone that GoPro, did this. They will have a new 50 megapixel 1-inch sensor. Now, we've had 1-inch sensors on cameras for a few years now, and smaller compact cameras, not just cameras, but smaller compact cameras for a few years now. It's not new. But 50 megapixels is insane for a GoPro. And it's a 1-inch sensor. It features a larger surface area, and larger native pixels, and a massive fused pixels, capturing more light for professional low-light performance. Now, these specs right here, so I don't want to mispronounce that. Capturing more light for professional low-light performance, up to 14 stops of dynamic range at the sensor. Incredible. This is on a GoPro. I'm like, when I first saw 50 megapixel, 1-inch sensor, 14 stops of dynamic range, my eyeballs were glued to the screen. I couldn't believe that this is GoPro. They're actually doing this. I thought that the company sadly was about to, start their decline, or they were already on their decline as far as popularity and competition and innovation, until I saw this. This woke something back up in me that I hadn't felt from GoPro in years. Excitement. They were innovative in the 2010s until about roughly 2018, 2019. And then it started to be the same features every year, and they started to slow their innovation. And I had just started to, over time, not be interested anymore. I looked for better cameras worth the money. And professional grade image quality when paired with the GoPro's new GP3 processor and its imaging processing capabilities, or as it says here rather, when paired with GoPro's new GP3 processor and its imaging processing capabilities. They've come out with a new processor, the GP3. Features an ultra power efficient 5nm design, enabling category-leading battery runtimes and thermal performance along with best-in-class resolutions, frame rates, and image quality. Absolutely awesome. An AI neural processor unit, NPU, enables next-generation video processing and stunning low-light image performance. We shall see what the AI neural processing unit... They have a whole unit for this. I hope it's good. I hope, but we'll see what it's like when the cameras actually come out. Now we get to the good specs that attracted me to this camera that make it look like an expensive toy for me. This is like playtime right here. This is what I actually wanted from a camera. I was going to invest my money into a Canon R5C, which is a 4-year-old camera at the time of recording this. However, the Mission, I'm not saying that I won't do that, because it's still GoPro, but I really have to see what GoPro actually, what it can do. With this new lineup called the Mission lineup, what they will actually do, the Mission 1 lineup, actually. And I like this name too, Mission 1. It sounds serious. It's pretty cool, GoPro. Mission 1. Fresh start, okay. Mission 1 Pro, featuring a cutting-edge 50 megapixel sensor, etc. Low light performance, 8K at 60 frames per second. Now, I'm not sure about you watching this video, but for me, I've been attracted to 8K video a lot since 2025. I've had my Samsung Galaxy S24 obviously since 2024. And I knew it took 8K video, but I didn't really treat it as a main resolution. I treated it as a gimmick, kind of, because I didn't really think 8K was so important. I focused more on 4K, actually at 120, because I'm more interested in high frame rates. However, I took a liking to 8K when it was one night, it was so clear outside, and I took an 8K video, and I'm like, that looks exactly like what I just saw. I pinch zoomed it on my S24 Ultra from 8K 30 on that phone, and it looked amazing. This camera can do 8K at 60 frames per second. Not just 8K 30, 8K 60. Like, if you're interested in taking 8K video with this camera, this is the time to do that. This is an entry-level 8K 60 camera. Absolutely amazing. If you want to get into the whole cinematography game, or at least start to do it, you can do that now. You don't have to wait for this camera to come out, but absolutely amazing specs. 8K 60, 4K 240. Now, 4K 240, you can slow it, like, GoPro's been stuck at 4K 120 for years now, which 4K 120 is an absolutely awesome resolution and frame rate. But the fact that they have finally bumped it up to 4K 240, they're actually doing this now, is amazing, and you can slow it down 8 times. And I'm just gonna throw that out here. If you have a 4K 240Hz monitor, this camera should be able to record 4K at 240 FPS, at least from right now, at normal speed with audio. So you can actually record 4K 240 at normal speed, although it'll probably overheat pretty fast considerably. You can actually do that in this camera. You can actually do that and watch it back at normal speed on your monitor. But for everyone else, just view it as slow motion, so I'm not confusing you with that. But gamers, you can actually record this at 240 FPS. Awesome. And 1080p ultra high frame rates up to 960 frames per second, 1080p 960. Now that's burst mode, but that is absolutely incredible that you can even do that now, because I thought it was, I forgot the other resolution, but it was 400 frames per second. It was mediocre. Even for slow motion, it was okay. It was good, but it was okay-ish. 1080p 960 now, for up to 10 seconds, and this camera can actually do 1080p 480 continuously. So again, if you have a 480Hz monitor too, you can actually record that at normal speed, but for most of us, you can slow it down. Awesome. 1080p 960 480, and the Mission 1 Pro can do 8K 30 and 4K 120 open gate video capture, but it records the entire sensor. And new GP3 processor delivering category-leading image quality, battery runtime, and thermal performance for extreme use cases. Now, we'll have to actually see what the Mission 1 Pro can actually do. Actually, I've said it so many times. When you think of GoPro and you think of overheating, it's pretty much synonymous. You have to have airflow around the camera. It doesn't have a ventilating system because it's waterproof. The waterproofing overheats the camera. If you're not moving, or if it's not actually in the water, or if it's hot water, it's going to overheat. And that's, because of the architecture of it. It was built for action. It was an action camera. So it's really interesting on that note to see GoPro doing a lineup that is a compact cinema camera for filmmakers. Now again, GoPro announces new Mission 1 line of professional 8K and 4K open gate compact cinema cameras for filmmakers, creators, and aspiring enthusiasts. This is a whole new category where it's in the action camera form, but now it's not just an action camera, really, it's an actual for real camera. 1-inch sensor. GoPro has actually stood up and become GoPro again. Innovative. Absolutely amazing. Now that was the Mission 1 Pro I just read about. You also have the Mission 1 Pro ILS, a new class of ultra-compact mirrorless cinema camera with the same GP3 processor, their new one, and 1-inch sensor as the Mission 1 Pro. Compatible with Micro Four Thirds MFT lenses for expanded cinematic versatility. Again, incredible, and that would be this camera right here. Incredible GoPro. They're really, I hope that with this new form factor, and I can see this, that will encourage the bulky cameras that we've been seeing for decades, although they're really not going anywhere. That will encourage more people to shoot with a point-and-shoot type of camera again that's high-tech, but it's still a dedicated camera. We may see a return of that with the Mission 1 Pro series. This is a very innovative aspect of the design that GoPro has already had, but these specs are just next level. The Mission 1 is the same as the Mission 1 Pro, but with 8K 30 video capture, still 8K, 4K 120 open gate, amazing, regular 4K 120, and 1080p 240 slow-mo frame rates, or at normal speed, depending on how you want to use that. You can actually record 1080p 240 at normal speed and slow it down yourself, or watch it on your high frame rate monitor. I'm just putting that out there. Mission 1 accessory ecosystem includes new wireless mic system, point-and-shoot grip, and powered grip, higher capacity Enduro 2 battery, I/O expansion media mod, and more. GoPro is doing their own microphone lineup. Dial up the bitrate to a stunning 240 megabits per second to capture HLG HDR, 10-bit color with GP Log 2. That's GoPro's professional grading right there. And maximize quality while minimizing file size with GP3's new advanced encoder. Cool. Category-leading pro-level audio. 4 microphones delivered improved stereo recording with wind noise reduction, while 32-bit float audio recording helps prevent clipping. So I guess it's basically more of a dynamic range, so you're not getting recording a concert, so it isn't where you hear the bass and it keeps dipping in and out with whenever it goes past the limit of the microphone's capabilities. The 32-bit float audio helps with that for GoPro, especially considering where they came from. But we'll see again when the camera actually comes out what it actually sounds like, especially with the external microphones that they're doing themselves as well. GP3's next image processing, including the ability to burst capture up to 60 photos per second. Incredible. The Mission 1 and Mission 1 Pro are waterproof to 66 feet, 20 meters. It's only the ILS, the Mission 1 ILS, Mission 1 Pro ILS that won't be waterproof. But I think that one is more of a dedicated camera than the other ones. The other ones are hybrid camera slash cinema camera slash action camera, where you really actually need it to be an action camera. Those cameras can take it. And it's, again, GoPro, this got my attention. I'm getting the Mission 1 Pro. 8K video is the future I think it is. And I've been really, practicing recording an 8K video and working it on my smartphone, my Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. Most people are on 4K, but this camera does 4K to 40 and 120 with open gate video captures. Insane. Anyway, I had to make this video quickly. I made it in the nick of time. I'm going on vacation tomorrow, so I made this just before I go on vacation. GoPro shocked me with this. I saw it actually the night GoPro announced this, and I'm only making the video today because I've been super busy the last couple of days, but I absolutely love what you're doing, GoPro. Please keep this up. You have to be innovative if you want to stay on top. DJI has already had, their own iterations of action cameras, with the Action 5, the Action 6 recently, the Insta 360 Ace. I'm glad that GoPro's doing this because this is a whole different innovative kind of take on a small compact camera that is high-tech, and I'm hyped for this. Please let me know what you thought about this page and what you think about GoPro at this point, if you're with it or if you're not. Please leave a like, I ask. Please leave a comment, subscribe for more awesome content, and I will see you all next time. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching. I'm shocked at this.